This is the next video for my Scratch project of creating a missile command, which you can find on logicalmoon.com. Just to make things interesting, I messed up on the recording, so I'm having to add the narration afterwards. Okay, what you can see now is what's going to happen at the end of the game. You see missiles coming down, not a lot happening though, but they're coming from the left and the right. And in a second, I think I'm going to start trying to shoot them. Here we go. That's me firing my missiles. The first one missed, second missed, third missed. So obviously I've got a great career in the army ahead of me. Right, finally I hit one. So that's what I hope to get at the end of this video, what I hope to end up with. As said, on the blog you can see how I go to get to this stage, and I take it step by step. Lots of things going on. You can see the missiles going at different speeds. Also notice that the trails stay there. Right, so if we go to this first part of the script, what this one does is it shows you how to achieve getting that missile starting in the top right hand side and flowing its way down. I started just a little bit from the top as well, not quite at the very top. This is it working. Just one missile firing from the right towards the left. The angle's quite important. It needs to be like between 45 degrees to the left or straight down, basically. That's me showing where I start it from. In a second, I think I'm going to show you how those angles work. There's a help page. Lots of really good help actually in Scratch, which shows you what each of the commands does and how they work. This is me looking for it now. Here we go. So there's the actual help page for pointer direction. It's pretty confusing. If you look at it, it looks like it's a pointer, but actually it's a cat. So you've got to read the text closely. But in that bottom left-hand portion, that's the direction I want them to travel in. And I realised that it's got -90 and 180, but if you go between -90 and -180, you still get that quadrant. And I think I actually do that when I go back to the script. If you have a look closely, it's just inside there now. So this is just firing one missile, and it's coming from the right towards the left. What would be better though is if we had some coming from the left hand side and also going to the right. That's the little bit that actually does it. It's a lot like Logo, where you know, where you put the pen down, you move something and it leaves a line behind it. That's basically how this works, and it's very much like what it's like in the original game. You can see the red lines being left behind the sprite moving. The speed it's going though is quite set at 10. Right, this one is showing having two missiles. Firstly, you get one starting at the right, firing from the right down towards the left, and then it goes from the left towards the right. The code's pretty much the same, except that we change where the actual sprite starts from and we set the direction. Here I'm showing you the direction towards the right. And I'm really looking for a 45-degree angle. I don't really want anything higher than that, because I want to have some hope that it's actually going to hit the bottom of the screen. Talking about hitting the screen, if you look at the script, you can see that the sprite keeps moving, that repeat until it touches the edge of the screen. I guess it would happen if it touched the right hand side as well, which is fine. Okay, this one's slightly better. In this instance, we're actually picking a random number, either 1 or 2, and if it's 1, we're going to start on the right hand side of the screen, and if it's 2, we start on the left. This is just to add a bit more randomness to what we're doing, so it's not quite so predictable. Everything else is pretty much the same. It's like a more improved version of the script we just had on the left. So as I said, lots of repeat code, nothing really new there, bar that if statement. If statements are a bit like saying, well, if something happens, do this. Otherwise, do something else. In this case, we've just got two options. Either we start on the right and fire towards the left, or we start on the left and fire towards the right. This one's better because now we're adding in this idea that the speed can change. It's not just a fixed speed. To do this, we create that variable that I'm pointing to now. and we store the result of that random number generator in it, and then later on we actually move at that speed. Now, if we didn't store it in a variable, we wouldn't be able to remember it, and we need to keep that value constant. Otherwise, if we keep moving at a random speed, it'll go fast, slow, it'll just be really, really weird. We wanted to keep the speed pretty much the same. Mind you, I'm not quite sure why you'd have missiles going at different speeds in real life. It just doesn't seem straight. It doesn't seem sensible. I'd imagine you just want them all going really fast and set at really fast. Now, this final script actually shows you how I implement the idea that we can blow the missiles up, assuming that the person playing the game can do a lot better job than me. It's really, really simple, except we just carry on moving towards the edge of the screen until we either hit the edge or we hit missile 1, missile 2 or missile 3. That's what those 3 extra conditions are in the repeat. And that's it really. I hope you enjoyed seeing this. If you want to see some more details, just check out the blog where I go into a lot more detail. Thanks.